Welcome back everyone to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is our painting video for Cthulhu Death May Die Yog-Sothoth expansion, as well as the supporting pieces for episode 1 season 3 Danse Macabre. So we're going to start out with the Yog-Sothoth and Wilbur Whiteley figures from the expansion set. So they'll be our great old one. So we'll paint Yog-Sothoth, and we'll use the character cards here for the color palette reference. And Wilbur, just keep those present. We've already painted the cultists, and I've also already zenithal primed the figures. So you can check out the zenithal prime video we did, but you can see it's got a pretty good shading to it. Yeah, you can check our playlist below for that. And Wilbur also, he looks pretty well shaded, pretty ominous, marching across the screen here. Yeah, they've got some odd tentacle placement. Okay, so we'll get into painting these. Just going to start out with some flesh tones, some earth tones, and a little bit of red. If you look at the artwork, he's kind of got this flesh tone. So I'm going to base coat him with a flesh tone-ish, sandy gray kind of color. Get that coated, and then Wilbur, I'll just mix in a bit of brown with that, just to give him an undercoat. And both of them undercoated, just get some paint on the figure as a prime, not a primer coat. I guess we've already zenithal primed, so this is just as a base coat or an undercoat. And then I'm kind of going back through and doing a second coat with the flesh tone that I mixed up there, and adding in a little bit of pink to do the first pass at the tentacles. And I'll kind of keep building up the layers on these. So I'll kind of go through these and do all of the tentacles. Not every tentacle in the artwork is painted this pink color. I think it looks more like the ones that are emerging from out of some other structure, or the underside of a tentacle. So there's sort of these fresh or small tentacles that are coming out of some kind of opening. Those are the pink ones. The ones that are more limb-like, then maybe there's just pink on the suction cup side, I guess. I don't know. I'm just kind of following the artwork. But we're going more for only the open areas, or inside out-ish. I don't know how to describe it, but it's pretty disgusting. But you guys will see the effect. Just kind of going by the artwork and making a judgment which tentacle fits the case. But mainly it's the smaller ones that come from inside of some other opening, or ones that have like an undercarriage, we'll call it, like an octopus would have. There's the outer side, which is the hide, and then the inner side, which is like the cilia or something like that. So we'll go through and do those. Yeah, and after we get this first pass of this tentacles on them, I think the next part will be to go ahead and use some washes. So I'm going to let these, after I do this initial coat of the secondary coat, on top of the base coat, and then a pass at the tentacles. I will let them dry, and then I'll go and do, I think I'm going to do 2 washes to give them, to get the features come out. So I'm just deciding, because the Yog-Sothoth is more of a flesh texture, I'll probably use a flesh wash. But with Wilbur, I might use a Nuln oil. So yeah, I think I'll use the Nuln oil for Wilbur. Yeah, so I'm going to use Nuln oil shade on Wilbur, and I'm just going to give it a healthy coat. I got it dry to the touch. It's not 100% dry, so I might have to do another coat, but you can see this will really bring his features out, and I'll probably do a couple coats of this, and then I'll go back over and highlight it. So there's Wilbur, and then I'm going to use the Pikeland Flesh Shade. You can see that this will really make Yog-Sothoth pop once I get the coat of this. And again, I'll have to do this in layers as well. I will go and highlight, then go back to do some shading, and then highlight and do some shading. So you guys can see the first pass with the washes. They're already starting to take some form, starting to look good. While these dry, I'm going to switch over to the figures for the season 1, episode 3. So you guys can see that our characters here are Fatima and Ahmed. They'll get painted up, and there's a number of creatures that go along with the Danse Macabre gameplay. So let's jump into playing these. Okay, so for the hunting horrors, those will be painted just sort of a darker tone, and then for the deep ones, I'll go for a greenish tone, a lighter greenish tone. For Fatima, I'm going to copy her player card, purple and blue and red sash skirt, gray top. And Ahmed, I'll give him a sort of a yellowish suit and his fez and tie in the red. And that'll also match the red of Fatima. So get these figures in the painting area, and then start putting a coat down. So I'll start out again with the reference cards in place. Keep those handy so I can refer to those. I'm going to start out with the ghouls and the hunting horrors. Basically just mix up a greenish undercoat. Again, all these figures have been zenithal primed. The investigators weren't zenithal primed, but I found that just a base coat works pretty well with them, and this will be my 3rd pair of investigators to paint. So I'll start out with the flesh tones for them, and then just getting a first coat on all these figures, and then again building up the layers. So I went with the a light green, and then I darkened it up for the hunting horrors. And then I think again I will do the Nuln oil on the hunting horrors, and I'll use the flesh shade. So here's an example of the first pass on these figures. You can see that the other 2 Yog-Sothoth. Then there's a second pass. I've gotten the suit color and Fatima's dress. I've gotten the Nuln oil on the hunting horrors, and a pass on those figures. Yeah, so basically I just keep repeating that process. I'll use the washes, paint highlights, use the washes, paint the highlights, until we get to where we are here. So now you see Haunting Horrors with the Nuln oil. You'll see Yog-Sothoth and Wilbur Whateley I've retouched up the tentacles and then applied some highlights on each of those figures. You can see Fatima and Ahmed have been painted up, looking pretty good. Tabletop already at least, and the ghouls, of course, so our night gaunts. So that's going to do it for our painting video. So thanks for watching our paint through. Hope you liked it. Leave a comment below and like and subscribe. Check out our link for our gameplay of Cthulhu Death May Die, Danse Macabre featuring Ahmed and Fatima. Hope to see you guys later, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.